Hey, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another music production live stream with me, Human Synthetics. I hope you're good. I'm starting slightly earlier than 8 o'clock. But I'm still getting used to this new space and new setup and everything, and how long I have to prepare everything before I need to go live, so I thought best to just crack on. Hope we're good though. So this evening it's going to be more live set rehearsal. That's what I was doing last week. More of the same this week in preparation for More Kicks Than Friends in London next Friday. So I should probably get up a link for tickets, but let's see if I can do that. I might just pop that in the chat. But yeah, I'm going to be mining some existing projects for some more loops. Then we're going to chuck them in the set, and then we're going to have a rehearse. We're going to have a practice. We're going to make another new section. I think that's it for new sections now, because I'm not going to be playing for like hours and hours, so I don't need huge amounts of material. Hey Cuba. Go Lab, how are we doing? I think I've got the lighting a touch better, it's certainly brighter on my face, but I could do with knocking these shadows out from behind, and something about the door. Maybe we'll just have to live with the door, but yeah, I can if you can. I think it's fine, isn't it? If we have that shot, you can't even tell. Here you can see it. That's a shit. We need a drape or something. Ned Rush. My man, how are we doing? Before I get cracking, I'm just going to give a shout out to my newest patrons and thank everyone who supports me on Patreon. One sec, it's not done there. Let me just... we'll have to go that way. Sometimes it doesn't update them. Update the slide. I have to make a new slide every week, which is fine. I'm glad to do it to say thank you, but it doesn't always update automatically. And I do test it, but there we go. Cool, let's try again. So I'm just going to shout out my newest patrons on here, which is something you get on the entry tier, £3. So you can make me say all kinds of crazy things if you want. Simula Crumbum, thanks very much for your support on Patreon. Cut the Dubs, Matt, Beamar, and Panaflex 96. Thank you so much for your support of me and the channel and everything I do. It means a huge deal, actually. And if you're interested in all that stuff, all the links are in the usual places, in the video description, on Twitch and everywhere that you might be watching this, on my Instagram and so forth. Yeah, lots of good stuff on there. Have a look. You can sign up for free so you're notified about new posts whenever I do them on there, which is, I try and post at least once a month, if not twice, with juicy content if I can, so it's not just, pictures of my studio or whatever. Hey Future World Machines. Yeah, More Kicks Than Friends. I put the link there. Yeah, cool. That's to get tickets and stuff if you're interested in coming along. If you're in London next Friday, so I'll be closing proceedings. So I guess I'm on probably at midnight, which is ideal because that's kind of like when I think my music is best suited for. So I've got a little plan this evening. We're going to open up a project that I've been working on and just take some of the breaks out and then put them in the live set. I might actually try and just like mine the whole project and use it for like almost like stems, but not, because I like to keep things in reasonably short loops so that I'm not I haven't just got like loads of really long loops in the live set, because you can easily lose track that way. It's better to have lots of 8-bar or 16-bar things. So yeah, let's go. So the track in question is called Renegade, and I'll just show you how, like, if I've got some stuff that I've done in a tune, or if I want to get something over to the live set, then this is how I'll go about doing it. I think this tune is a winner, actually. I'm definitely going to finish this one and work some more on it on stream once these gigs are out the way. Once this gig is out of the way. Hey, error encountered. Hello, Jason. Oh, yeah. I recognise the handle. You can put fruits in here, yeah. I'll take fruits if you're enjoying it. So here we go. Just open up this set. How you been, Jason? Here we go. So what I really liked about this, I like the way the break sounded in this, and like I think we've only really got time to kind of mine one tune because it can be a bit fiddly, and I often just get bogged down in like, should I do this section? Should I do this section? Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? So I think what we probably should do is save a version before I play it to you and stuff, so I don't get lost. I don't get into it immediately. So we'll call it like this, like sample mining is what I normally call it. More kicks and friends. So I've got a separate project that I can just use for mining stuff. That's good, Jason. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a hang sometime soon, wouldn't it? Oh, that's great to hear, man. Glad you're still catching them. Which one are you talking about there, GoLab? The that thing. So I think a good, like, whenever I'm listening to something like this and I'm thinking what it can be, like, if you're going to strip it for parts, so you're going to condense it down into like something you can perform live with, it's obviously got like too many channels that I could do something like that with. But I definitely want to do the break that I've made in this, which is quite heavily layered. And Nick, Cuba, I'm using curves on it. So this is definitely Curves by Mono Mono, available on Isotonic. It's definitely one plugin that I'm always reaching for when I'm doing break stuff, because I like the simplicity of it, and that it's great for like confident, heavy-handed moves and stuff. And you can really like, I'll show you the break with and without. This is essentially a think break that I've just layered a bit using snapback and clipped and then pushed into like an EQ compressor into the TAL DAC like converter plugin to crunch it up a bit, and then into Tiny Space, and then back into another clipper. But let's zone in on the break itself. And this one, Tiny Space, like, this is a plugin by I can't remember the developer, but someone, a student, recommended it to me. And because GoLab, I know you had your like room reverb that was in your racks. It's similar to that. It's like it's quite tight, and you can make it quite narrow. Let's just, so that's off, on, yeah, just a tiny reverb. So I use it for like an alternative version of the break here. Why isn't that playing? Yeah, there we go. It's fading in or something. Oh yeah. Yes, like intro effect. Okay, so we've got like the thing that's processed with all of this stuff, and if I just like turn off the processing and snap back, you'll hear what it's like naked without any of this stuff on. So without this and this, and the clipper. So snap back, kick. That second one is on the snare. And then I run it into a clipper just because it is quite like wild between RMS and peak. I could probably boost it a bit more in volume there, but I didn't. And then into this various EQ compression, some like digital audio converter emulation, and then into another clipper. Just because I really wanted it to like the Reese, up against the Reese, to work. I've got like side chaining going on in this kick. Anyway, I don't really want to get too much into like the nuts and bolts of this tune, but I wanted to show how the break's been processed and why I wanted to use it. Then I've also got like a hot pants break as well. The it's a bit chaotic, the project at the moment. Yeah, okay, so I've got this like hot pants that comes in later on. So I think like we'll definitely have that, and then we'll probably, I won't bother with like things like the hi-hats, but I might have this this Fink hi-hat, which is going into like a transient shaper without, and then into like a phaser flanger and a gate as well to make it really tight. There we go. Kind of worked at the time. Cool. All right. So those are like the breaks. Those are the break sections. I've got dodgy HDMI cable. You guys won't be able to tell, but like it blacks out. It's quite annoying. Okay. We won't add that right in. So I'm just going to combine this all. Drums. So we mustn't forget what we're here to do. And then the Reese, I want to get the Reese out. But thankfully the Reese is quite simple. It's just like the same loop. Yeah, and then we've got this kind of like Aggie bass that comes in here. That's nice. I really love that. All of these are Serum, actually. And then this tearing bass that happens. Like call and response. So I think actually what I'm going to do is like have the bass as one channel, and just do like some of it where it's just this 8 bass on its own. I called it that because it sounded quite aggy and, you know, like a chimp throwing an aggression fit or something. Yeah, and then for like the main section of the tune, it's going to be this Reese and then all of these basses as one thing. So I think we'll probably just like resample that as an 8-bar loop. Nice, that's nice and easy. And then the drums are going to be a bit more complicated because I'm not sure how best to do that. What Ableton skin? So this is, I think it's a immaterial. So it's kind of purple, isn't it? Oh, Ableton just crashed. Yeah, immaterial. It's kind of purpley, pinky. That's annoying. Bear with me. GoLab, do I only layer with Snapback these days? At the moment, it would seem so. Yeah, because I really like being able to like switch layers quickly. But then obviously like if I'm layering other parts on different channels like other loops or other breaks, then I will do that on separate audio channels. That's really annoying that's happened. I'm just reopening now, but yeah, I like Snapback, but also as well I've worked out how to load my own sounds in as well, which is pretty cool, and I like being able to see like the phase and stuff. I like the options that you get with it. Yeah. I should report the crash, shouldn't I? I used to do that. I used to be really good at doing that, but yeah, we should be able to browse skins, shouldn't we? The thing is, you have to like download it and then send it, don't you? Why? It'd be great if I could, if it was just like automatic. Okay, but yeah, it's immaterial. Okay, so we've got these bass and then the drums, and then maybe this pad as well. I'll do something with this pad. I think this pad got like automation on it, so. So obviously like what it's done is like boosted some stuff. Oh, this has all gone annoyingly wrong. Yeah, okay. If you put things in groups, the APC doesn't like it. It shouldn't do that. That's fine. Might have to unplug the APC. Cool. Unplug that for now. Right. Yeah. Combine the drums. Drums. Let's just start with these two and the pad. I feel like that's probably giving it giving a lot of emotion here. Got the pad here. Distant lands. Yeah, all right. Let's get to chopping up some stuff. I think that we'll do this hot pants as one. I'm just going to freeze and flatten this. In fact, let's work out what we're going to freeze and flatten. So freeze and flatten that. I don't know what this kick is, just a side chain. That's fine. And then we won't want the hi-hats. So in fact, let's just get rid of the stuff that okay, leave those in. Then we want this eternity hot pants as well, and that can be at the beginning. You need to make some ruthless decisions, I think, when you're doing stuff like this. You know, you can't. You got to be ruthless, right? And these two channels, I almost think you want them together because we've got these like little fills at the end, but we could just forego them. That's cool, that like wolf sound. Then these things are already bounced anyway. Alright, we'll bounce those, and we'll bounce the Eternity hot pants as well. I've called it that because I was trying to like get the sound of Paradox and Seba from back from Eternity. And we'll just do that ride as well. Right, I'm just going to freeze and flatten these now. It might take a minute while we do that. Hey, Illy and Dilly. Much love from Birmingham in return. Okay. So yeah, we're just bouncing out some loops from this tune. I think this would make a strong idea to have in the set. This kind of dark, greasy thing. I reckon that would sound good over a system. Oh, nice. I'm pretty much bang in the center. bang in the centre of England. But this is exactly what I would do if I was doing this, you know, one morning or something. At this point, I probably... The key is to not get distracted, right? You need just a plan, you need to follow it through, and you need to get the loops out. You can't, when it's in the middle of bouncing stuff, you can't be checking your emails or something because you will get distracted. You just got to watch that loading, watch that bounce bar slowly tick up and have a clear idea of what the next step is, or just do something. Birmingham, Alabama is often what you get when you search Birmingham, isn't it? Oh, in the UK as well. Okay, that's done. Bit clicky, that sound. Okay, cool. So that's that. We'll do the bouncing first. Writing the crop sample. Okay, great. All right. There we go. Nice. They're done. They're done. So these bass ones, I'm gonna bounce this Reese in place, and then we're gonna have to resample. Get rid of this all Reese because it's not doing anything. I think that this is Serum. So these two will bounce in place. We will freeze and flatten because some we can use as loops and then others we can resample into a combined loop. Because bear in mind we've only got one bass channel. And when I perform something like this, it won't be as droppy as this tune is. It won't have as big, or maybe it will, but maybe I will be able to pull that off live. But it certainly won't be as kind of like a polished sound. Or bouncing place. So no, it's not, because I don't really. Let me just not get freeze and flatten. I guess, right, I could do, like, because I'm on 12.1, I'm not on the beta. I could bounce in place, couldn't I? Is that the idea, that like I could do that now? Because we're going to have to resample. We got this nice reverse sound. So I kind of feel like we want that too, don't we? I don't even know what that is or how I made that. It's going to some sort of effect. So we'll put that in the basses, actually. Cool. All right. So there's the bass and the breaks done. We'll come on to like getting those out in a sec. So we'll do the pad next. And this twinkle, what's this? Oh yeah. We definitely want that. What's this instrument? What even is in this? Nothing. I'm not even using it. This is like ambience, that, so I might forego that, and that's already like this. Don't know what that... Right, bounce you, freeze and flatten you. I mean, really, I don't need to... This is a bad way of doing it, to be honest, because a lot of this stuff is just repeating loops, so I didn't need to bounce the whole tune, did I? But like, or bounce the whole channel. But sometimes I find you just gotta do all you can think of, and then usually you think of a quicker way or something really obvious that you've missed, or that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wary of beta just because I had like when I used it, I used to get so many crashes when I was in it, and I think I didn't want to use it on stream, so I just stuck to like the stable version. Okay. Well, this is fine doing this in place because there is automation, and we're almost halfway there now. That's fine, and we are bouncing 2 channels, so. Yeah, it does all depend on how long your like individual parts are and stuff, and and of course on how many channels you've got as well. But this is what it is like preparing for, for a live performance. I think there's a lot of kind of sitting down with a cup of tea and preparing loops and gain staging stuff and just tinkering to make sure everything's kind of lined up nicely and going to work reliably when you're performing. And also, you've got to experiment and add more sections or enhance your set really, because for me as well, like I don't want anyone to see me twice and for it to be the same thing. I want it to be new every time. For me and for the audience, I want people to have a new experience, and that happens anyway because it is improvised. But it's more fun to perform when the material's new. So the pads and the melodic stuff is probably going to be a bit more spatially weighty in terms of effects. So we're almost there, and then we'll just do that wolf whistle sample. I think that was supposed to be like a loon synthesized using Serum, not mine patch, but from the Time Shift pack by Oblivion Sound Labs. We got these as well. What is this? This thing's great. This is really... I've just recorded that in, Contact. Is this another just Contact that I've not used? And then we've got some... What is this? Oh, I'm not keen on this. It's a nice different texture. Right, so we'll just bounce those two and we're done. Great, that's quick. Nice. Then we just got to resample some stuff and we can get it out. Thanks, Illy and Dilly. Yeah, I'm pleased with where this one is going. I think this just happened by accident, really. Okay, so we've got like pads, atmospheres, and effects. So this is literally just for like sample mining, So I think like what else I'd like to do with the tune is like just make something more of the breakdown. I want a spoken word. I want something good. I want like what our colleges would use. think like in that breakdown, I want something more dramatic and like building a bit more. It's a bit kind of like just goes to nothing and like nothing happens and then it just drops again. So it'd be nice to have like some more tension building. That could be a spoken word, that could be some more like atmospheric sounds and stuff. But I'm really pleased with the breaks, and like the bass sound great together. Okay. Oh my god, right. This is the next stage now. So what are we going to do with these things? Really, does it go on that long? Okay, it does, yeah. Okay, so I just want these like affected bits almost to happen as part of the same loop here. I'll demonstrate what I mean. So if I just put that there and like loop it, solo it, just do it from this. Oh, so that's great. And then we can do that again here because the loops are all slightly different. And why not just have more than we need to? Because like next time I come to like do a live performance, I'll probably add some more of from the same, from the same source, from whatever I used to create this, or from these loops that I've pulled out. So great. Probably won't bother with this section. We'll just focus on like the drop and the bit before. I mean, this would be cool to have this bit, I think. Okay, great. And I think, I'd just take like these, crop these in kind of 8-bar sections. And then we can use like follow actions in the live set to switch between them. Great, okay, nice. And then the intro break, I'm not too worried about, just like, although it does work nicely with the hot pants break. That's one thing, like when I come to work on it next time, I want the two breaks to be seamless. They're slightly different at the moment, if you listen. So you can hear like the snare hits. I want it to sound like one break. But I think that's okay for now. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find these now. I'm going to find them in Finder and pull these loops out, right? Because these are done. And then I think for this, we won't have the hot pants ever happening on its own in the live set. We'll have it when it comes in. It'll be combined with these loops because these are all perfectly synced together. We'll just have to resample these and chop them up. That's okay. We've got a plan. Will we do that, or I'll trigger them as like two things in the live set. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so let's show in Finder. It might come up on a different screen. Okay, and now that these should be normalized as well. Lovely. Great. So we'll copy these over to like my I'll do it to my pure synthetic sample library. All of this stuff is shared on Patreon. To find it. Not all of these samples, just the in here. Breaks. And we will I'll do a new folder here, 25005, and we'll call these like Renegade breaks. Great. And we'll paste them in here, We'll just call these, like, rename these. So it's slightly faster at 175. So these, we'll have to see how this comes off in the... I like to give them silly titles, like we could call these just Renegade Think Chops or something. Yeah, Renegade Think Break Chops. And it's not 175, it is 175, so when I put it in the set and set it to repitch, it will go slightly lower in pitch. Hopefully that's fine. Okay, cool. So we can, like, let's turn these off now. Great. Alright, and then we got like the intro stuff, so we'll call these, like, again, we'll just do 16 bars, right? Because there's quite a lot in here. I mean, we could probably just get away. I think these are all the same. Yeah, let's do one 16 bar loop. Or this one. And again, if we go and show and finder, right, these last two, check we've got the right ones. Okay, I just need to consolidate it because then it will appear in this folder. So consolidate. Great. All right, if we go back over to that folder, there it is. The top, is that right? Yeah, cool. So these are like 32 bars long. Check we've got this right, the hot pants one. These like are in... So it sounds quite janky on its own, but maybe it'll work in the live set. You've just got to follow the process. It's quite crunchy, isn't it? Hot pants, crunchy top, break, chops, 175. Cool. And this is Renegade, Think, Break, Chops, 175. We'll call this like main loop. Great. All right. These thinks we just need to find. Do I need to just go freeze and flatten them? And we'll just take that first. We'll take a 16 bar loop. We'll just use that as fine. Don't need multiple bars, multiple things of that. Sparky options, you definitely could, and that's not a bad idea. Probably should have done that anyway. But I think for the sake of like 5 BPM, it probably won't make that much of an audible difference, especially not for the breaks. For the atmospheric things, it might do. And I guess this is part of going through the process and just like problem solving as you do it. We'll see how it comes out. I should have just done that, shouldn't I? But again, it's like until you I'm just going to consolidate it so it's normalized. Until you go through the process, you sometimes don't realize. So we'll just do this like, I'm just going to call this one Think, tight think terms loop 175. That's nice though. Okay, so we've done these channels. We want to have this ride, this Don't even know how I did that. I think we'll leave that. Yeah, just looking at time and everything. So with the bass, we just have a nice single like 16 bar loop, don't we? Yeah, I did this like a W morning Reese. Oh, I think it's loop. Okay, so we'll call this like Renegade. Renegade Reese bass loop. It's in F. Minor 175, and it's 8 bar. I'm pretty sure it's F. Right, and then we got this 8 bass as well. I just want these two happening together. So like Ape Terror. This is complicated. Yeah, I'll just do it from here. And we'll just do 2 beats of it or something. So I'm just going to do the ape, the top basses now, the top bass parts, and then we'll do the whole combined thing. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I'm just going to do it up to 113, and then we'll stop. Hailing him. Shit, I don't want that one in. Where's that coming in? So really these are going to be like the top bass loops. So just go to 113. And then we'll do the combined bass loops. Kind of think I should do it again with that, or will that be enough? Maybe that'll be enough. Let's do that for now. I can always just loop it there. Can't like be a shit. It'll cut the atmospherics off. That's fine. End up with like a million windows open. Does it just bass? Yeah, I'll just keep it in bass for now. Renegade top bass only loop. I think it's 16 bar. 175. Alright, and then we'll combine the lot. And that's where we'll put this other one in. That's fine. Great. And we'll just go to 113. Got a lot of stuff going on that Terra bass. Awesome. Okay, I'll just cut that off. Doesn't matter. This is, I tell you why, this is a good demonstration, or this is a good reason why it's nice to make, like, to just make fresh loops for something live that's completely, like, by breaking down, like, for me, the thought of breaking down studio tunes into, like, live performance stuff seems a bit, that seems quite laborious. Renegade Renegade bass. Like if I'd release stuff, like going back and trying to like make it work live, I just think that's kind of not what I'd want to do. I much prefer the idea of, like, you know, almost DJing with your own sound design sessions in a way. Yeah, Anonym, please go ahead, post. Are you on my Discord as well? Because you can always put stuff like that there too. I don't use it. I'm very infrequently on it. I just really use it for like DMs and stuff. But I know that people post stuff on there quite a lot. So if you want to chuck them in there and you could put a link here, that's fine. Yeah. Thanks for asking. It's called Renegade. I know what I'm looking for. Sweet. All right, that's that done. I'm just going to use like this intro pad here. I think that'll be our... pads? Well, I've got pads. Wow, okay. Might see if I can work out which... Maybe it was in G minor. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's just going to loop around, and then this like twinkle. You know, we can just do a twinkle, 8-bar twinkle. Lovely. Show finder. It can be in a melodics. Renegade twinkle. Oh, look at all this stuff. These are things I've... There we go. All these .asd files have come from things that I've put in the live set. Renegade, Twinkle. That's fine, isn't it? We're not doing that. And we're going to do these. Yeah, I really like these. These are cool. They seem to repeat every... almost like here. That's probably fine. Renegade atmospherics, show and finder, copy. We've got atmospheres and stuff here. Pads and Atmos. Renegade, Juice Atmos. Sounds quite juicy. Lovely. And we got this like tension loop happening. I feel that'd be a cool like just effect. So like a one shot. Renegade tension. Renegade tension. Lovely. Definitely want the wolf noise. Renegade wolf. Great. What a great name for a sample. So ASD files, that's a good question. Like if Ned's still on, he'll tell you more about those. I think like Ned, isn't it that like they're easy if you got a live set of loads of loops and stuff, having .asd files makes it load quicker? You have those engaged. So I usually don't have it on. Okay, lovely. I'm not gonna have that glitch thing. I think that's it. Maybe this dark arts. So I see when I go to like mine a track for samples, it's a bit of like almost like a cannibalistic process in that it's destroyed or it's destructive, and once I've done it, I don't really return to that. You know, I kind of destroy the everything becomes a loop or deleted or something like that, or just moved out of place, or yeah. Renegade Dark Arts. ASD files save the metadata of clips, so if you warp them or change the transpose of something, it saves them. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Anonym. Yeah, so I think it's just like if you've got loads of stuff, loads of clips, it can help with like how quickly it does all that business. If you're transforming them. Great, okay, I think we're done. Let's get out of here. Let's open the live set, yeah. And we will just save that. Right, the next job is to what is missing? Oh yeah, renamed it, that's why. I think that's working now. Sure, it'll be fine. Where was that? Right, let's plug the APC. Doesn't matter so much now because everything's just at full volume. Let me just close some of these million Finder windows that I have open. So I have been practicing with it and doing some more stuff. That was where we were last time, Waterworld. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Cool. 26, and we can call this like Renegade. Yeah. As usual, it's going to be a bit of like gain staging and all that stuff. Okay. Start with the breaks first. Cool, pull all those in. Nice. And then we've got the crunchy hot pants, but really the crunchy hot pants is going to happen with this one, this loop together. So they always happen together. So we just need to make sure all of these are oh, that's annoying. Just like there's been some tempo stuff because it's so how does it compare with these ones up here? Probably just have to drop the gains down a bit on these. It should be all repitch. They're a bit loud, so we'll have to drop it down like -10 or something. That's good. Okay, and then just the crunchy hot pants. It doesn't sound too bad with like the warping and slightly longer. Okay, thank you for the clarification on AST files. Yeah, no, for a long time I didn't have them on at all. So I've just literally grabbed like one. Let's work out what we've done. Okay. Ouch. That's probably like there, isn't it? Nice. And then we've got like the tambourine loop here. Cool. Sounded alright, isn't it? So we've got like the Renegade full loop. We'll have that here. There's this warped, man. That's annoying. Not that long, is it? This will be harder to sort out. I'll do complex. That's usually the best. So I'll make it 32 and just make sure I've got the timing right, and then I'm literally just going to pull out this bit right, and if I zoom in and pull, it's like it's going to be there. That should be fine. And you can turn off like there. That's probably good. All right, yeah, not bad. So yeah, complex is good when you've got like when you really want it to keep the pitch and change the tempo. I'm going to set all the breaks to be like legato too, so that I'll show you why, so we can just have this rolling. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's good. And then we've got like the Reese only. I don't think we ever needed that, do we? We only needed the top bits. Cool. So like for the intro, you know. Okay. This hasn't done it either. Warp. Annoying, man. Complex. Be loop 32 bars, so we'll just have to bring that. I'm just saving of it. Okay. Save that for the drop, that one. You know, like to take it in a slightly different direction, we could just use some other breaks in the intro, kind of. Something like that, maybe that would be fine. See how these hold up. These could be nice little like switch outs and stuff. Yeah, they're okay, aren't they? So I've been in studio sessions before tracking and recording things, and like, yeah, people have like recorded the metronome and added it in. You can get like the rolling sampler, the Bird's rolling sampler would do that. Let's have it loop here. So we'll start it so it fades in. So I don't think either of those ones are working very well here, but get rid of those for now. So that sounds pretty good with that padding, you know, and now we just need the one shots and stuff. Dark breakout mouse, what's that? That's pretty cool. Maybe we can add that in a bit as well. So these will all just turn warp off and that should be fine. I actually want the melodic part. Renegade Twinkle. These are all one shots. Let's warp it anyway. Make it like complex. Metronome sample back, 100% exclusive metronomes. What's your favourite one? The wood? Wood's quite good. I'm just gain stage and stuff a bit now. Tidying everything up, making sure it's all looping nice. I don't know if this is, but we'll see. I think let's just find this last bit of noise. I'm just going to put a transient marker there, or a warp marker, just pull that out. This is fiddly. Like, you can definitely mitigate stuff like this if you're a bit more prepared when getting stuff out of your projects. But it's a huge task, actually. And doing it in 2 hours and making it into like something like this is actually not bad. That's kind of worked out all right. Love that song. I'll tell you what I do want. I want some. I'm just looking for like some kind of toaster sound system shouts now. I think they work really well. They sound quite paradox. 2K Soundboy, Sample CD, X Nation.
I'm gonna give him a round of applause to me now. Clap out him out of the blood clot dance.
General, come down under the order.
Fresh.
Something like that would be cool. You know, you could just do some clip automation. So it's just don't know, what's this like? Let's get that beginning just for like some interesting. I'm using clip automation here. It's like you'd be better off just like using the sample, but sometimes if you're in a rush, this is what I often end up doing. So my screen's like glitching out. You guys can't see it, but it's doing my nut. And it's when I moved, obviously I've used a different HDMI cable. And it's not very good. So this is from a pack called 2K Soundboy Sample CD by X Nation. I think if you search that but with Bandcamp, you'll find this. But this is like, there must be like 1,000 Soundboy samples in this. Yeah, it's got everything you'd ever need.
Wrestling.
F. Who says the last? Cheer up.
Very paradoxical.
Cheer up.
Pretty good, isn't it? Hey, thanks, Goat. Let me see. Right, if I can find the 2K Soundboy. Are you looking for 2K? Soundboy CD. I've definitely bigged this one up before. Yeah, cheers, Goat. Thanks very much. And yeah, Anonym, you definitely. I think if you go to like, you know, it's got to be the right place really. But if you can see like, I don't know, Sully or someone like that, or like there's a really good event coming up in Milton Keynes later in the year, like a day rave. It's called like Jungle Renegade or something. It's like all the OG, like Congo Natty is headlining, and I can't remember who all the other artists on the bill are, but a friend sent it to me. Gremlins is really good. See, I for some reason I thought with like Canada had a pretty decent jungle. You know, is it DJ Rupture? DJ Rupture's Canadian, and I've read something with him where he was talking about like hearing jungle for the first time, and like how it completely blew his mind. I would like to do, I would like to experiment with some sets in different formats, but different genres and stuff. Like do a garage one or something more housey or more synth wavy. But I feel very confident with this set, and it feels like safe territory for me. I think like branching out, I think circumstances would have to be a little bit different in that, I don't know, I was able to stream in the daytime or something where I felt a bit less wary of trying new things, and that. Not like I try to be like true and honest on stream and just do things as I would do them off camera, but it's not quite the same, is it? And I still really just want to show everyone that stuff. I need like a vocal snippet of like a diva here or something. So I will just reach for my Music Radar vocal ad-libs, which I just use on everything, because it's more using like it as a texture. We're not even meant to hear the original. Ooh. I don't know what. I've got a feeling it could be G,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, yeah.
No. I would love to do a vocalist pack, right? Because I don't know why they make them sing the notes that they do sometimes. Like, these aren't brilliant, are they? That's pretty good, though. I'll do. No disrespect to the vocalist, but I just think it's like maybe poor production management. Hey, grooving in G. Yeah, man, I'm here. The background's not quite as flattering it was at my old place, but the main thing is we commit to the time and the practice and everything, you know. I don't have too many like sound clash vocals in the set, so I think it's probably okay to max them out here a bit. What I'd really like is a backlight here or something. I just don't think I'll have quite the same luxury unless I have a small shelf here that I could fit a plant on or something. Which might look reasonably alright. I don't like the harsh shadows I'm getting at the moment, but it's really irrelevant, isn't it? Because like I've made music in Weatherspoons for a long time. This is definitely, and that was just purely because it was the only time I got. I think we've all heard that bit of lore.
Alright.
I want some like really.
Alright. Alright, rhythm. Alright, we now. Bad boy, so yeah, man, yeah, me know. Bad boy business again, man. Big request. Big up on us. Big! Guys, Mr. Bite you. Big!
Is it great?
Big!
I think get some more, can't we?
Boy, you know. Check it out, man. Yeah. Come again. Come again. Come again. Come again. Oh, yeah. Dance just start. For real. For real. From Pioneer Day, youth.
Nice, that's cool. I want some amens now. Yep, I have got like a big, I reckon potentially an LED. The problem is, George, that I've got like a door here now. So like maybe we need some posters or something on here, some like plain material or something that I could just put on the inside of this. The space is definitely nicer, and the flat I'm in a much nicer area, and it's just much nicer place to live, and I'm overlooking trees out my window and that. But yeah, it's the stream background's not as good for now. We can work with it with that. So these are like earlier breaks. Sweet, that's quite good, isn't it? These are like these will be the very first loops I made for like the set. Yeah, fair enough. We could just switch out to an amen maybe. And then to another one. Just like for some switcheroos. Just make sure everything is legato and repitch. Legato. Wow. Bit too much, that one, actually. Breaks the flow a bit. What's this bulldozer one like? That one. Oh, yeah. That's certainly enough to like jam out with, isn't it? That. Thanks very much for the kind words. JG40. Yeah, I've looked at all of the APC controllers. I think any of those grid controllers are going to do you proud, really. And like, if you've got a few of them, even better. Thanks very much, peeps. Thanks a lot. Yeah, this would be a good one to end on. I think this one. Yeah, crossfader is something that I've thought about bringing in to the set at some point. I had like I've got a Novation Nocturne, which is like a DJ controller, but as far as I know, it doesn't work anymore with the setup. Like with it, I think the drivers are just out of date. But yeah, like I'm a bit like whatever. Try various configurations of all these things, because you like. There's one. A friend really, Damien of Turismo Blue, who's also done a lot of the More Kicks and Friends online and stuff. But he's the keyboard for largely everything. Like does all like the Amen stuff on just a keyboard and plays it like a guitar. It's quite cool. But like, yeah, I just suppose it's like whatever you're comfortable with and you get practice with and you make into your own. So yeah, try lots of different things. That's. Oh, Sparky Uptrick, so you know of it. Because I've been like, I actually really liked it. It was great because it had the momentary buttons on, for the it's all those little bits of ear candy. If I can weave those in, that'd be great. Like maybe we could see how it's like.
You said it yourself once. You said that a dream is an answer to a question we haven't learned how to ask. You said it yourself once.
So loud, that break. Must have just thrown that in. Maybe I didn't mean to put that there.
hypotheticals become fixed in our mind as fact. We are interpretation machines.
Oh yeah, cool. I just wanted to like try a transition from what we'd made this evening to from a different tune. I think that worked pretty good actually. I was really enjoying that. So yeah, no, thanks very much for the kind words. But yeah, no, that was good fun. Thanks, Phoenix. You know, like I think the thanks on music as well. Amens all the time. Thanks, Theo. I think you know you don't need. There's not many clips in here. We've not maxed out all the clips. You know, it's just some nice clips that work together well, and letting things roll out a bit. And I think the most important thing, like when you're performing, whether you're playing an instrument or whether you're playing something like this, is like listening. Is like really listening to what you're doing, and not getting too caught up in like what you think is supposed to be happening, and more about responding to actually what you're doing. I think that's definitely like the biggest shift I've had as a musician over the last like 10 years, is that, you know, it's about responding to what's happening in the moment. And like, if you're caught up in what you should be doing, what you think you should be doing, and not just kind of listening and responding musically immediately, especially when you're improvising, then it all kind of falls apart. As soon as you start thinking, it goes. You kind of have to hear and respond immediately. Thanks, Theo. You know, they all sound like they could be improved to me. That's really good. But I know that it's like, you know, when you're like making these things, you kind of can't really hear them objectively. But thanks so much, people. That's really, really kind. It's what I do it for, or not. You know, it's great to inspire people and just show them what's possible with like a handful of clips, and not very, you know, all of this stuff was okay. It was made with some like plugins and bits and bobs like that, but anyone could make this stuff, I think. And it's, you know, I'm all there's a few extra controls on this, but largely it's all just like filtering and a couple of really basic effects like flanger and some Ned effects. Ned effects are doing a lot of things, but like not all the time. I don't use them too much because it can quickly descend into like, they're great for like fills and things like that. If I will be sharing this live set on Patreon, so and I have shared all my previous iterations. And there is like a course where you can make your own on there that I made as well. But if not, you can just like follow along with, you know, it's so achievable to make something like this in like a couple of afternoons or something when you got a bit of spare time. But thanks, it's inspiring to hear. It's inspiring, so I'm looking forward to performing with it. And now I just have to like, what I do now to rehearse it and like tie it all together is I'll often just pick a random section, one of these random modular sections, and then just say, right, I'm going to start here and then I'm going to transition to this one. You know, I kind of like to try it in all different ways from all different approaches, just so it helps to like tune my improvisational chops, so that in the moment I'm kind of, I've done this way and that way in various different ways of it, and I can usually find something that works. Thanks, Theo. Well, I'm glad to share it. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad to like, I think like session view is always like the way to do it for me. And I definitely think there's something in like aligning what I do live with this stuff and in like actual recorded material. It's certainly a great way to jam fit. It's how I get all my arrangements down, is like this, because it's just got a performance aspect to it and like an immediacy and like not thinking thing. And a lot of the time I think about how I could bring them together more and how I could, like, you know, maybe I could just make loads of loops and then perform with that and write music with it. But then often I do want to kind of, a studio track feels different to like a live track to me. Well, I really appreciate that. And when you've got like when you've got a sound system beneath you and you're doing this, it feels great. It feels very powerful, actually. If you've got like a loud sound system with good bass and stuff, it's like it's like riding a sandworm or something. That's how I think of it. Oh, you can, for sure. I think you've just got to start basic, start small. Like, and this is all audio, that's another thing. If you can get I think start really basic. If you can, you know, even if you had like, let's say 2 clips per channel, you'd have enough to start jamming with. And like, I tell you one thing why the push is not, I'm not into the push for stuff like this, is because it doesn't have the faders, which you will have seen me using at points. Do you know what I mean? Like, the push has the rotary knobs, and like muting is not the same thing, because sometimes I want the control to fade things in and everything, and to, like, you know, quickly flick things about. So anything that's rotary for me goes against that. I think the push is brilliant. It's like a brilliant system, and like it's only got better. I had the push one, the OG push. Oh, thanks, Sparky Uptricks. Yeah, this one, I'll be sharing this one after the gig. If I can remember, I will try and record it as well, so I can share both. I can share the set as it is, and then the recording too. Sorry, the set with the performance in. So you can see everything that I did. You can just play it back and hear it. With all the automation. I do have to take the Ned effects out though. I don't include those. But if you want those, there is they're great from Isotonic. And there is an affiliate link. If you use that in the description, I get a little kickback. That's true. Something with faders is good. I guess it's just like the clips are right by the faders, you know. For me, it's almost like if it's a fraction of a second, it can affect how you're doing it. But like, you know, the push is brilliant, and you can do everything with the push for this, sure. Part of it's like using the limitations to your advantage, or using what you think are your limitations to your advantage. Like, you know, if you don't have faders, well then that isn't just going to be that is going to be an aspect to your performance you can't do. You're going to have to figure some way around it, you know, like where stopping clips or things like that are going to have to happen. But one thing you can do on a push is you can play stuff. Do you know what I mean? You can play like drum parts, and you can play chords and all that stuff, and I can't do that on this. I'd have to get a keyboard or something. So that's the limitation of this. You know, I can't play stuff in, and I can't really trigger stuff with like pads. It doesn't work like that. You can set these up so they become almost like, you know, pads, like drum pads. If you have the trigger on just toggle, is it? Or is it toggle? I don't know. And yeah, if you have it on toggle. Oh no, what is it? Is it gate? Yeah, gate, and then you turn no quantization on. Yeah. That's pretty cool. You can do that. I think it's like really digging into whatever you've got and like really pulling it to pieces. I'm glad. Well, I mean, like, if you go, I definitely have a live set playlist, so it'd be great to have your support, but also I try to make all the information available for free, you know. Definitely follow along with the Make Your Own Ambient Jungle live set from scratch, though, because that's got all the like loops, how I do all the loops and stuff like that. It's definitely worth a look if you want to make something like this and mess around with it. The set is quite big. I think you've probably got a few gig of samples and stuff in here. All right, but I'm gonna sign off here, folks. I think this has been a good session. At an hour in, I was thinking, how on earth am I gonna get this all into the live set? But we got there. All right, and next time you see me, yeah, we'll be on next week, I think. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, live stream scheduled for next week, so it'll be final rehearsals. I might just like do a 2-hour set or something. Maybe not that much, but yeah. All right, well, thanks very much, everyone. I'm going to sign off now. Really appreciate you all checking in and watching. Hope you've enjoyed this and found some inspiration. And yeah, if you have, please give the video a like and all that. Drop me a subscription if you're not already. And I'll catch you next week. Yeah. See you later, folks. Have a good rest of the week and weekend. See you next week. Thanks very much, Felix. That was always my dream, to make Ableton an instrument. Glad it comes across that way. All right, appreciate you all. Thanks very much, people. See you in a bit.